Okay, here's a quick little primer on amplifiers. Now in combo, you guys are just using amplifiers truly just to amplify the sound, to make the sound that's coming out of the pedal boards louder. But there might be times in your regular gigs where you're using an amp by itself without the pedal board, so the amplifier itself is an effects box for you. So let's just talk about a couple of things that are real basic to all amps. The amplifier you're looking at right here is the world's simplest little tube amp. This is a Fender Blues Junior, and it's got one of everything and no frills on it, so it's a great one to talk about. The most important thing to know about amplifiers is tube amps, that is that it has a master control and it has a volume control, 2 stages of gain. On let's see, on PD amplifiers that's pre and post. Marshall's has a different name, which I can't actually remember, but what basic idea is that you can overdrive the circuit at the front of the circuit, or you can overdrive it at the very back of the circuit just before the sound goes out to the speaker, or you can overdrive both of them. Each one of those gives you a different sound. On tube amps, what's cool about tube amps is that their performance is really based on voltage. That is to say, if you give the amplifier more voltage by turning your guitar up, the amplifier acts on the sound differently, and that's a cool effect that we can control. Here's the basic idea. The way my amp is set up right now is that the front end of the sound, the volume is cranked wide up to 11. So it's pretty wide open, pretty loud. But the master's way quiet. So if I just play at a regular level, guitar's set at about 5 or 6. Clean, right? Now as I turn the guitar up, now I'm not going to change the way I'm picking like this, but as I turn the guitar up, not only does the guitar get louder, it starts to distort, starts to overdrive. That's the beauty of this effect. I can play the verses on number 5, it's quiet and it's clean. Now I'm not going to step on a fuzz box or anything or turn my amp up or nothing, but I'm going to just turn the guitar up. When the solo comes up, here it comes. Just doing it with the volume control on my guitar. I could be 50 feet away from my amplifier and I'm still getting this effect of stepping on a fuzz box. I can do the same thing by playing really softly. In either case, playing softly sends out less voltage than playing loud. Not only does it get louder, it gets fatter and overdriven and more distortion in it. Okay, that's the secret, the beauty of tube amps, and that's why guys, when they can blow a couple grand on a boutique amplifier, they'll blow it on a tube amp because it has character. Based upon the way their hands are working on the instrument, the amplifier reacts to that, and that's a pretty hard thing for a transistor amp to emulate. Okay, that's the basics of it. One other thing I want to bring to your attention. A couple ways you can approach a tube amp when it comes to tone controls. Notice that this thing just has middle, bass, and treble. Also notice that this Fender goes middle, bass, treble, not bass, middle, treble. Middle is the magic ingredient in most tube amps when it comes to EQ. Middle is the kind of nosy sound that changes the way the thing kind of sounds. Check this out. It can make a real groinky sound into a much smoother sound. So Fender puts it off to the side so you can find it. You might want to start off on a tube amp by running everything up to full blast. And then no, that's probably not good. Dead, dead, dead with no treble. Less middle smooths out the sound. What'll happen on a lot of Fender amps, just run bass and treble full blast and then shape your sound with the middle control. You'll have much better EQ success if what you do is pull EQ, if you cut, as opposed to boosting EQ. Run them all up and then start cutting the middle back until you get a tone that works good for your sound, with your guitar, with your hands. Okay? That's our basic primer on the world's simplest tube amp.